Welcome back to the Citizens Fancast. As always, I'm your host, Evan, and today's going to be a good day. Talking about the Tottenham match, just going over our win. Obviously, if you watched the match on Friday, a big win, our first win away at Spurs' new stadium. So we got over the curse. The curse is broken, but beyond that, we got an exciting episode. Took a week off with City not playing and ready to get back into it and get back going with City having basically 2 matches a week for the foreseeable future and just ready to keep going again. So excited for this episode, excited to talk about this, and just excited for the rest of the season. I mean, it feels like kind of now is when you get into the point where after you get through the January period, if you're not still in all the cup matches and everything like that, and you got breaks like we did, it's nice to be able to get back in the swing of things and have 2 matches a week. I'm sure the players enjoyed the rest, but as a fan, I particularly enjoy 2 matches a week. Otherwise, my week just drags on, especially when you have over a week to wait for the next match. I feel like I'm just waiting forever. So without further ado, let's get into it. One more thing. If you're watching on video, I got my new jersey with the Club World Cup logo on it, World Cup champions. So that finally came in the mail. So that was a nice thing to get in the little break period here. But let's get into the Spurs match. Lineup: Ortega in goal. No surprises there. He starts our cup matches and has really been honestly flawless in his time in the FA Cup, only allowing 1 goal in all of his FA Cup matches, and that was a penalty against United last year in the final. So non-set piece goals, none allowed. Walker, Diaz, Ake, Guardiola, Kovacic, Rodri, Bernardo, Silva, and Foden, Oscar Bob, and Julian Alvarez starting lineup. So obviously, like I said, we won 1-0. An Ake goal was kind of our difference. Again, our savior in the FA Cup, obviously with last year doing it against Arsenal, scoring our 1 goal there. So it's a match. It felt like we should have kind of won and dominated. I mean, obviously no Son. He's out for international duty. So Son's out. Maddison was coming back from injury. This was his first game back from injury. Feels like a match we should win. Obviously, De Bruyne is not fully fit. Didn't start. Haaland's not fit yet. Didn't start. And wasn't even in the lineup. But, this felt like this one was going to be different. We got the players. We're good. Everyone's kind of coming back. Come off a long break of not playing. And it felt like we dominated more than I'd say some of the stats say. So 57% possession. I felt like it was higher, in all honesty. I think the difference there is probably just the openness of the match, kind of, back and forth. Seems like you might have more possession when you really don't. But the big tell was 18 shots to 1. So 18 shots, Spurs only had 1. Kind of hard to get scored on when you only get 1 shot against you, and hard to not score when you have that many shots as well. So it felt like when we should have won. We did. Obviously, it was late, an 88th minute. There was a big check for a foul on the keeper. Never a foul. Never a foul. I mean, we got one taken away against Liverpool with Akanji apparently fouling Alisson. But then, 2 weeks ago in the Burnley match, Trafford was most definitely fouled, way worse than whatever happened to Alisson, and they let the goal go. So it's selective in who we call that for. It felt like they were probably going to take it away because we're not part of that selection that gets those calls. But obviously it all worked out. It wasn't a foul. If anything, Diaz got fouled instead of the other way around. So exciting. Late winners are always good. That's last couple of matches now. So it's nice to be able to, knock off some matches in a row here. And our full team is coming back, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun rest of the season. But into the match, beyond just the general stats and us and our goal, So Oscar Bob starting, I think that's kind of due to the way he played in the last match. Came on, gave us our winner, and out on the left side. So starting over Doku and just kind of showing what he can do. And I think the biggest thing that I noticed from him is no moment is too big for him. He's there. He's playing with poise. He's playing. He looks like a veteran player. He does nothing rattles him or anything like that. He's there. He does his job, and it doesn't matter what the situation is or anything like that. He's just ready to do his work that he needs to do and make the right plays. So another good performance for him. He did obviously end up getting subbed off for Doku, but he put in a very good I forget 60 70 minutes, however many he played. I don't have it written down here, but anyway, he did very well in his time on the field. Another thing I noticed just in this match in general, so I felt like earlier in the year, and I say earlier, I mean last month, maybe November, there was a lot of times where things weren't clicking the best. Other people were panicking and stuff like that. But I think part of the issue was a little bit of a disconnect in our midfield, and more a disconnect from our defense to our attack in our midfield. And I think what helps with that is players making themselves more available. In the Newcastle match already, Foden did a very good job of making himself available in the space between the defenders in the midfield, and the same thing this match. Him and Alvarez both were finding that space. It almost felt like a front two between the two of them. They just kept finding that space and working together just behind the midfielders and in front of the defense, created a lot of opportunities for us. But as far as the midfielders making themselves available, I think that's where Kovacic really helps us, being able to. He always it feels like he always knows where to position himself. He's always got himself in the right spot to be able to accept a pass from the defense, make a run forward, pass it up to Foden or Alvarez. And I think that just comes with his experience and his knowledge, kind of giving us what Gundogan gave us. That's what he was supposed to do, come in and be what Gundogan was. And obviously Gundogan gave us more scoring than what Kovacic has given us thus far. But I think it's the little things that maybe go unnoticed besides, the game-winning goals and stuff like that. Making yourself available, being that connection from the defense to the attack, and being able to carry the ball, make the right pass, make yourself available. A lot of it too is just knowing what your next pass is going to be, knowing what your next move is going to be when you get the ball. So being aware of just the field, where everybody is and stuff like that. And I think a player like him really excels in that, and I think it's something that like I said, I think it goes a lot unnoticed at times, but it's huge. I think that's a lot of the reason why it felt like we were able to play a full 90-minute match. Now, there was a time in the second half, kind of around the same time as normal, where Spurs had a little more attack, felt like they got a little momentum, probably from the 50 to 60 range mark, 50th minute to 60th minute. It felt like they had a little bit of momentum going. It felt like they had an opportunity to, get a goal or snatch a goal, really, because, they weren't really in the match at all. But we stayed true. We kind of fended them off, and that's what we need to do. Get over that hump. I think over the last year or so, I've noticed that in all of our matches, there's a 10 to 15 to 20 minute period where it feels like we're not in control anymore. The other team gets into the match, whether it's following our goal, whether it's just them coming out of the half stronger. I think there's that period where they come at us for a large bit of time. We're accepting a lot of pressure, and this match was no different. But I think last year we were fending them off, didn't allow a goal. This year it didn't feel like we could fend them off as well. We'd concede or something, or it just looks super unorganized in the way we're defending. We'd try to play out, we'd lose the ball, and it didn't feel like that this match. It felt like we were able to fend off their pressure. And at the end of the day, it paid off. You don't allow a goal in those instances, and it stays 0-0, right? You're able to when you allow a goal there and later and in the second half, and you come out of halftime, you had your halftime talk, and it all goes out the window the second you allow a goal. Whether it doesn't matter what the score is, whether we're up, 2-0, 1-0, whether it's zeros or we're down, whatever, you allow a goal there and it changes the entire match. So I think we did a good job fending him off and then kind of regaining the ball, regaining possession, and kind of flipping the field back and applying the pressure ourselves. It's something I hope that will continue to happen. I kind of thought that maybe once De Bruyne came back, it would change that. I really think it's just Kovacic playing more in the middle and just allowing there to be a little more of an outlet from our defense. So I actually credit that more to him than anybody else. So he had an incredible match. Could have been man of the match, but for me, I went with Ake for man of the match. Obviously, I have no official saying, so whoever you want to say could be man of the match. I think we all played very well. Walker's been under a lot of criticism. He played very well as well, and it's just that's what we need: a full team performance, full 90 minutes. You're gonna take on pressure at times, but it's about playing through it and being able to really just accept the pressure and not concede in the process. And I think that's kind of where it was off a little bit. We were conceding at times, and there's it's just unfortunate. So I'm happy we didn't, and it looked like a good performance. Like I said, Walker was good. He had some good interceptions. He looked like his normal self. The one thing I've noticed, and I've seen quite a few people, quite a few shows that have noticed this as well. Noticed it in the Newcastle match. Noticed it here as well. We almost have been playing the last two matches without a right wing. Walker kind of fills that entire space from defense up to attack, and it's an interesting concept. It's very heavy attack down the left side, and it seems to be working. We're creating a ton of chances. The fact that we played that way is what got us our first goal in that Newcastle match. Just being able to, Walker had the space. He made a run forward, and he was able to be found and play the ball into Bernardo Silva, and then we got our goal. So it's working. As long as Walker doesn't get caught out of position like he did in the Newcastle match, I think it works just fine. And then it's almost like once De Bruyne has come into the match, he's kind of filled that space out there. And I don't know if that's intentional, where he goes out there, kind of fills that space, and then, we spend the entire match, attack down the left side. And then the last 20 to 30 minutes, well, here's our best playmaker. He comes on. Now he's filling that space, and we're changing the direction, attacking from an entirely different side. I don't know if it's intentional. Obviously, Pep has his instructions, tells him where to play, but I don't know if that's Pep's intelligence or De Bruyne's intelligence or a combination of both, just being able to fill that space. But it does seem very intentional that we're just attacking down the left side. Like I said, we almost, whether it's Bernardo or Foden, whoever you want to say is out there as our right wing, I don't really see them as playing out there. They're both very central. So it's interesting. I think as it continues to work more, I mean, maybe that's what we kind of do for the rest of the season. It feels like every year Pep comes up with something different, as a different way to attack, a different way to defend, a different way to fill the midfield better. And, I think that's what he's driven to do. He's driven to fill the midfield, get an extra body in the midfield. So we've seen him take outside backs, move them more centrally, kind of play a back three in possession, and then out of possession, someone drops back in. And, that gives you an extra body in the midfield. You can control the midfield better. Well, now maybe he's feeling like we can't do that. It leaves us too vulnerable on defense. So now we have to take someone out from the right side, move them more centrally, attack down one side, being the left, and use that to give ourselves a midfield advantage, put an extra body in the midfield, and really give ourselves a chance to control the midfield and really control the match, because it's been a lot easier for us in the last two matches to control it with that extra body there in the midfield. So I think that's kind of where it's coming from, just kind of putting that extra body in the midfield. It's kind of, it's simple to see what he wants. He wants everyone to be a midfielder. He wants everybody to be able to play on the ball. And I think by putting an extra body in there, we're automatically going to outman them in the midfield. So maybe it's a thing where he doesn't feel like he can pull that defender out anymore, and we have to pull from somewhere else, whether it's the attacker or whatever. Just something to get that extra body in there where the opponent doesn't really see that coming. So good match. Pep's trying some new things. I like it. It's working, and it feels like with Mahrez gone, we don't have an out and out right wing. Obviously Foden can play there. Obviously Doku can play there. Bernardo can play there. Alvarez could play there. De Bruyne could play there. We have a ton of players that can play there. I don't think that's any of their best position. So we'll see how this continues to go once Haaland's back, once De Bruyne is back fully healthy. Once we got everyone back, we're fully healthy. We'll see if we keep going that way. Maybe it's something temporary. Maybe he sticks with it. I don't know. I'm not him. He's a hell of a lot smarter than I am. And I say this all the time. I've stopped questioning him years ago because he's so much smarter. So I just sit here and report to you guys what I see. And he continues to be a genius and be so much smarter. So moved on from the FA Cup, won the match, and that's the important thing. And it'd have been not the greatest to have a replay. I just getting back in with 2 matches a week, I really would prefer not having to have to have an extra match in there when we really don't need to. So glad we got that. You never know when with the replay how things could change and everything like that as well. So happy we pulled it off in 90 and didn't have to play another match. So that's enough about Tottenham. I've been talking for far too long about that match. But moving on, injury report. I don't have information on Akanji yet. I think he's working his way back. I don't think he'll be fully ready for the Burnley match. It seems like Haaland's back in full training. He should be good to go for Burnley. Whether he starts, whether he's off the bench, I think we'll see him get some minutes on Wednesday. So I'd expect that. Burnley is obviously a winnable competition for us. I would expect us to be able to not have to start Haaland in that match, but we'll see what Pep decides. As far as rumors and contracts, Calvin Phillips finally made his move, a loan move to West Ham with an option to buy in the summer. He looks happy. He seems happy. I wish him the best. I've said that numerous times on here. He seems like a very good human being, a genuine person. He seems to have a contagious personality and attitude. He's always positive. He's always smiling. I mean, simple stuff is even just, warming up on the sideline and the ball goes out near him and he grabs it and gives it to whoever's playing. He's doing it with a smile on his face. So you love to see that. I hope for him to return to his, higher level of play that he just couldn't reach here, and just continue to keep that smiling and happy personality. So wish him the best in the rest of the season. I'd expect that option could become, that buy option will probably be picked up unless this goes horrendously wrong. I don't see that happening. I think he's a good fit there. But Pep did say that there is an opportunity for him to come back and be a part of the City squad depending on how this loan spell goes at West Ham. So maybe he just gets some good minutes, comes back, and ends up being that player that we brought him in to be. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I won't rule anything out at this point. So, like I said, I wish him the best, and he needs playing time, and he's going to get it there. So I expect good things from him, and I hope for good things from him. So as far as rumors for other players coming in, obviously I'm recording this on the 29th. The transfer window is basically done. I don't see us bringing anybody in all honesty. Obviously, we're still rumored to Paquetá on West Ham. Depending the investigation on the apparently betting on games, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. He's obviously a very talented player. We'll see kind of how that plays out and everything. It's going to really depend on how this investigation goes and everything like that to see where ends up. Obviously, I would assume, unless you follow Nothing City, you know that we're also rumored to Joshua Kimmich. I'd love to see him come in. Like I said, he's 28 years old. Feels older than that. I feel like he's been at the top level for a very long time. It seems like he's open to moving. I've seen him rumored to Liverpool. I don't think that happens. If he leaves, I think it's City. I think he wants to be with Pep, and I would welcome him with open arms. And the biggest issue I see is, we have all these young players coming up. I think they have a lot of potential. Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. I almost said Foden. He's not that young anymore. Obviously, he's starting every match. But Lewis, Bob, Hamilton, players like that, I don't want them to be pushed out by these big signings. Obviously, big signings are great. It's nice, to bring in world-class players. But at the same time, I love seeing our young players come up, develop, and just really become, a genuine force for us. We also got James McAtee out on loan. I'd expect him to come back, and I hope that he could make an impact on us as well. So I don't necessarily think we need signings, but again, I'm not in charge. I'm not in control. I don't know all the behind the scenes. So I would love to, see these young players come up, but I'm not going to say no to a world-class signing at the exact same time. So as far as that, I don't see any movement before summer. Obviously, like I said, this transfer window is basically over, and yeah, rumors were we weren't going to sign anybody, and that's kind of how it seems. So next up, we got our match preview. So 2 matches coming up this week. Like I said, Burnley on Wednesday at home. They're 19th in the league. Current form, 3 losses, a win, and a draw. The draw should have been a win. They might have some fire. Company, I'm sure, will be welcomed back to the Etihad with open arms. I expect the fans to be just incredible for him, as always, as they were last year when he came back as well. City legend, one of my all-time favorite City players. So I hope for him to keep his job and Burnley to stay in the Premier League, but it's not looking good for them. So it looks good for us, though. They're 19th in the league. They've scored the second least amount of goals. They've allowed the second most amount of goals. And if we go out and do our jobs, it should be a win. I'd expect us to be able to score 3-4 goals. 3-0 last time, I believe, at Turf Moor, if believe I'm correct on that one. So Burnley on Wednesday, and then next match after that we have Brentford away next Monday, February the 5th. That match is on a Monday for some reason. I don't understand why, but it is what it is. Again, I don't have control over that. So Brentford away on Monday. They're 14th in the league, current form, 4 losses in a row and 1 win in their last match. Ivan Toney is back, cheating already on a free kick. If you didn't see that, go watch his free kick that he moved the ball and moved the foam for. So not a big deal, in all honesty, in my opinion, but just a little bit funny that he came back from that, and that was what happened. So again, a winnable match. Their form obviously is not great, and they're 14th for a reason. So I think this is a stretch where we're going to start winning and putting some games together. I believe we've won a lot in a row. I don't have the exact number of how many we've won in a row, but we've won quite a few in a row. So I would expect us to kind of be on that run. We go on a run every year, and I think this is kind of where it happens. So I'd expect us to be able to, knock that run out. So I got the official number here. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've gone 10 matches. So I was right. 10 matches without a loss. There is 1 draw in there against Crystal Palace, but beyond that, we've got 10 in a row since we've lost to Villa. And yeah, it was never a time to panic, and it still isn't. So 10 10 in a row without a loss, and I'd expect that to continue this week. I'd expect to make that 12. I expect 6 points from these next 2 matches, and for us to move on and just keep rolling. So, obviously, like I said, we advanced from the FA Cup. The draw happened. We have Luton away. They won on a last minute goal against Everton on a corner kick. I was actually watching that match, so I got all the info there. But Luton away, it's a winnable match. We struggled a little bit, went down a goal when we went there last time. Nothing to overlook, and obviously they're going to put up a fight. That's what they do. They're a very scrappy team. They never give up, and it's hard to go there and just win. So they defend their home field, and I'd expect a fight there, but it's just, again, a winnable match because they're where they are in the table for a reason. So, but you don't overlook anybody. You never overlook any opponents you got. So I'd expect us to come out, be strong, be aggressive, tough lineup or strong lineup, and hopefully move on to the next round and continue to defend our FA Cup. There's really nothing stopping us from winning another treble, so I think we just need to make the most of it and carry on and do our job. But it's kind of all I have on that. I got a few other interesting notes here, just a couple random topics. I usually don't have too many of these, but this week's a little bit different. So other news that came out this week, Klopp is leaving Liverpool, and I despise that man so much. In all honesty, he's so over the top, and I'm just happy he's leaving. It has nothing to do with his skill as a manager. This is going to be my only compliment you'll ever hear me give to him. He's made them, Liverpool, better than they would be without him. That's the compliment I have. So obviously happy that I think they will drop off a little bit, but at the end of the day, he's been given credit for being way better than City, way better than Pep, and I've been sick of hearing it for years. So I'm glad he can leave. At the end of the day, if they go on and win every competition they're still in, their quadruple that they want to make up that isn't even real, that they think is better than a treble, because apparently the IQ level in Liverpool is substantially low. But even if they pull that off, I don't think they will. We'll still have more trophies in that time span. Chelsea's accomplished everything that Liverpool has in the time that he's been there. He's really not that successful as a manager. He's put together good teams, but at the end of the day, we've just been better. So in a weird way, I think Klopp leaving motivates City. I don't think we want to let him go out on a high note. Pep doesn't want him to go out on a high note. Pep doesn't want him to be able to win a Premier League and be able to say, like, oh, at least I went out that way. It's gonna motivate us in a weird way. We're gonna be motivated to kind of kill that retirement party, if you want to say, in a way, more than anything. Obviously they'll be motivated to go out on top, but I think it's gonna be something where it's gonna motivate us too, and they're not gonna have it easy. They're in for a hell of a title fight, and we're ready. We're back. Haaland's coming back. De Bruyne is back. And I think we're ready to put on a real big fight. So he's leaving. Don't know who they have set up for a replacement. I'd prefer Gareth Southgate, if anyone out there is listening that is of influence. That has nothing to do with my opinions on anything. He's a very, very good manager. Moving on. Sounds of it, Mikel Arteta might also be leaving Arsenal. He said that it's not true. Rumors say that he might be leaving. Obviously, Xavi is leaving Barcelona, so that job is open. I don't know if they'd offer that to him. I don't see why they would, but again, he could be leaving, and it looks like we're just chasing everyone out of England. We've been so dominant, and I think just managers don't want to go up against us anymore. It feels like a useless fight. So Klopp said he's out of energy. I'm sure Arteta's running out of energy too. It's so hard to put up a title fight against us. And it's so hard to win this league multiple years in a row. And we have the time or the chance to do something that's never been done before and win 4 in a row. And the amount of effort and energy that takes on top of all the other trophies we've won in that time span, all the matches we've played in that time. It's so hard to do that, and it just shows how much drive, how much fight this team has, how much drive Pep has, how much he wants to make our team better, how much he wants us to win everything. The drive's there, the desire's there. We just got to pull through and finish it all off. So, like I said, another trebles are in the books. It's on the table. There's no reason we can't do it. I expect it to be very close for us being able to do it again. We went out and did it once. No one's done it back to back, so let's win 4 in a row and let's go win one back to back and see. Just keep moving and keep proving everyone wrong in a way, about everything that's said about City. So, last couple topics. Walker did an interview. I'm not entirely sure why. There's some certain City pages, City fan bases, or City fans, in quotes, fans, that are going after Walker, saying he shouldn't be our captain. His personal life is an absolute shit show. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. But as long as it doesn't affect him on the field, I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't care if he's got 14 wives. If it doesn't affect him on the field, he can go do whatever he wants off the field. He did a very good job against Tottenham, and that's all I care about. Getting back to the point and playing the way he was. Again, no issues with him being captain. I know some other people were freaking out about it. I don't give a crap about anything. At the end of the day, it is what it is. He decided to stay here. It sounded like he almost went to Bayern Munich just to run away from his problems here. I don't know the full situation. It is what it is. He's here. He's a City player, and I don't expect that to change. So I'm happy he's here. We don't have another right back, in all honesty. Rico Lewis is not a right back. So happy he's here. Happy he's contributing to our club in a positive way like he did against Tottenham. I expect that to continue. I think now that it's all out on the table, it's a little less stressful for him. So, bottling that all up, I'm sure isn't easy. So, like I said, as long as his personal life doesn't affect him on the field, it shouldn't really anyway. I think we're good. I'm good. I have no issues. The thing is, the second you step out on that field, everything kind of just melts away. Your focus is on the game. And whether you think about that, 2 minutes after you're off the pitch or whatever, if it doesn't affect your play, then I don't care. We're good. But I'm good with him being captain. I know some people have other opinions. That's for them to have. But personally, I think they're wrong. So last topic, announced today, Manchester City coming back to the United States. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. Anyone else from the United States, you should be as well. Excited to see where they end up coming. It sounds like they might be playing against Chelsea. That would be, just me particular on a personal note, that'd be fun. My brother's a big Chelsea fan, so for us to both attend that and see our clubs play against each other would be pretty cool. So I hope they come somewhere close to me. If not, I plan to go anyway. I don't like going to the super big cities like LA and New York, so hopefully they avoid those. But we'll see where they come, and I hope to at least hit one match. We'll see if they have 2-3 matches, however many they have. I'd love to hit a couple of them, but we'll see. I plan to go to one. It's going to be dependent on location, obviously. I've got a lot going on personally, just financially and everything this year. So we'll hope for the best on that one, but excited that they're coming here and I got another opportunity to see them live and in person, and hopefully back-to-back years with the Club World Cup coming up as well. So excited that they're coming back here. This would be my fifth different year seeing them, and I hope to get that number up and continue to see matches of them. So I'm excited. I hope those get announced soon, and I will be booking hotels, maybe flights, and yeah, I'm excited. So I'm hopeful that they got some good locations planned. Maybe visit somewhere I've never gone to before, but as long as I can see City, I don't care. I'd go watch them in a cornfield if I had to. So Excited for that, but that's all I got for you guys today. I feel like I covered a lot more than normal. So a little bit longer than an episode. I made it past 30 minutes, so maybe I'm getting better at this, or maybe I'm just rambling. I'm not really sure, but regardless, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Again, listens are still going up, so I appreciate it, each and every one of you. Thank you for listening. Share it with your friends, family, coworkers, people you hate, people you love. Share it with everybody. Just looking to keep growing this, so it's fun for me to do, and I like sharing it with people. So follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Citizens Fancast. You can go subscribe on YouTube at Citizens Fancast. Watch all these videos. I'm hoping to hopefully bring some other content at one point, or at some point. Hopefully once my wife and I buy a house and I have a more permanent setup besides in an apartment here where I'm kind of crammed in this room and not really in my ideal workspace. But that's my issue, not yours. Anyway, podcast available to listen on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google. I feel like I'm forgetting one. I always feel like I'm forgetting one, but just Google Citizens Fancast. You can find it that way. There's plenty of places to listen, watch, follow along to everything I do and everything I have. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sticking with this, and I'll see you guys next week.